a lesbian's husband, and that is literally how they will list him in the credits.
But I mean, if she makes somebody walk across the street, they're going to walk across the street and going to get hit by a bus. And then it's just going to be like, you evil monster, Allison.
Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is what happened right at the very first of the episode.
Grayson was the one who was doing Pogo.
Yes.
And Pogo also had the serum. And then they're like, and we're done with that. We're done with that part of the story. Moving on.
Save it for later. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, just lock this away.
Well,
that was your only
Grace
thing?
gets Pogo. Grace trains Pogo to be an astronaut, but it's the super serum that Reggie has that changes everything.
Yeah, we still don't know where the super serum comes from, but apparently he had it.
Well, I'm sure.
Go ahead, Andrew.
She gave Reggie permission to use it, so it must be Reggie's serum, I'm assuming.
And I feel like he must have had it before because he was pretty sure it would work. So maybe the plan was, let me try to train him a psychological way, and then if that doesn't work, we'll give him the serum. Because I felt like it was.
No, because the serum it heals, it saves them. They don't get the serum just for fun. Luther was mortally wounded. He got the serum. Pogo is mortally wounded. He got the serum. But I think I bet he's been testing this serum just as like a healing thing on other creatures that were not formerly trained by a psychologist to go to space. So now we're injecting a space smart monkey with the serum.
It may be that it was a ape-based serum, and it was meant to just heal him, but it also super healed his brain, making him smarter.
Yeah, because
then when they injected it into Luther, because Luther wasn't an ape, it also affected his physicality.
Yeah.
So maybe she didn't know exactly what it was going to do, but she knew it was
worth a chance. He's dead. He's dead now. So
it was
the best option.
Right.
Yeah. Daddy doesn't know his kids are his kids.
I don't think. Well, because he is also, I don't know, because he makes a comment about like, I'd never have the thing you said is stupid because I'd never have children.
Right.
So he doesn't deny the time traveling and stuff, but also that made me think like. He sounds so disappointed because he says, I'd never have children, but if I did, they wouldn't be as bad at what you're doing as you are. And that brought me back to him calling Diego amateur. And so I'm like super waffling because I'm not sure which it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, and in theory, Luther's story would indicate that at the time that Diego fights with Reggie, he at least has an idea that there might be time-traveling kids out there.
He obviously despises children so much, and, he fights Diego and kicks his ass and is like, amateur. And then, Luther comes and he's like, Daddy, and he's like, get away from me, you smelly beast. I think that's Hargraves being Hargraves. And then when they're growing up, he's literally kind of like, yes, okay, number one, he doesn't know how to, he doesn't know kids. So he's just, he's the great dad that he was from season 1.
Our little gang of 3 decides to go Scooby-Dooing all over town and make true confessions.
I'm at the point where I even care a little bit more about Allison than Vanya. Like, I don't care about that storyline of, oh, I only slept with you because I was lonely for a night, but I can't betray my husband. Like, either you're a lesbian or you're whatever, but it's like,
but you're still not going to run away with the person you slept with one time.
Just straight up.
And I thought I also wouldn't care about Allison's, but I care more about hers because I could see it could go two ways of she says, I have a superpower and I used it. I'm not a spy. And he says, oh, let's fuck with this and do good. Like, I can work with a superpower. Or he says, you're crazy. If it's the third option of he still thinks she's a spy, then I can't.
I have a prediction.
Zach.
I think she's going to rumor him and make him forget about her and just walk away.
The only way she can succeed is if she can take him out onto the street and do an innocent rumor on someone. But if she just says, I can make people do things, she's going to have to prove it.
Yeah.
So I hope she has a plan for that.
Yeah, but I mean, if she makes somebody walk across the street, they're going to walk across the street and going to get hit by a bus. And then it's just going to be like, you evil monster, Allison.
And of course, most looking forward to Klaus's journey of, like, what is he going to, is he just going to tell them he lied or that, oops, I miscalculated by 50 years or?
What if he asks Ben's
Is he gonna
help.
Jonestown them? Sorry.
Well, no, I was saying,
No.
he could either Jonestown them,
No.
or he could somehow, because Klaus's powers are to make Ben appear in reality,
Or
and then Ben
any
can
dead
do his
people.
beastie thing.
Any dead person.
Yeah, so I mean, what if Klaus uses Ben to scare everybody or something? What if he literally uses Klaus to ScoobyDoo everybody away?
The timeline has changed and they need to go out and spread the word or something. I think he's got to get rid of them somehow.
Is he gonna use his power for good, Andrew? Is that what you're saying? Like get people to hunker down?
Well, except for if they go out to spread the word that the word that the world is ending, no one's going to listen to them. But well, that's just it. Who could be in that group that could be not Charlie, but Charlie Manson? Is he in any way, shape, or form tied to Kennedy?
No, but he came. Didn't Klaus come from San Francisco? Like, did he come from?
Well,
California?
he went to San Francisco and came back,
and they all followed him. I mean, I'm just.
So Carl comes home early. What do we think? What are we thinking about Carl and then Carl and Vanya?
Okay, next
some moments.
Carl is gross. I like it that they made him just a stereotypical sleazy salesman.
Because he's a stereotypical sleazy
proud
salesman.
of being conniving. Like that is Carl. He is very proud of what a conniving little man he is.
But he said he sold, basically sold shower heads to a hotel
shower
chain.
Heads and shower accessories. So
to a hotel chain. So if he was a real salesman, that's a pretty big. I mean, Howard Johnson's is like the Marriott in the 1960s.
Yeah.
So, then like when Vanya has her moment and Harlan calms her down. So Harlan seems to be clued in, but Carl also gets a funny look on his face when she walks off.
I think it's just.
That's weird.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a what just happened and why did she react that way as opposed to I think she
is Carl a Russian spy.
I just don't think Carl is interesting enough.
He is perfect, as you said.
I think he is the lesbian's husband, and that is literally how they will list him in the credits.
So our next topic is they're all tied to Kennedy. And it's pointed out Diego is stalking Lee Harvey Oswald.
Right.
Luther was working for Jack Ruby.
Mm-hmm.
Allison was working on a civil rights movement in Dallas, that was around Kennedy coming into town. So how are Vanya and Klaus connected to Kennedy?
I don't know how they're connected, but I really feel like they missed the entire point of like what are we doing wrong, and it's that you're trying to save Kennedy. If Kennedy
sure.
But why didn't they even why didn't they even think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Five was the one who literally works for the company whose job is to maintain what is the time frame. And if the time frame obviously got them to 2019 with Kennedy dying, why is Diego we got to save Kennedy? And it's kind of like, no. He's not the one we have to stop. We have to stop something else from happening.
Well, I would think, Five had that flashback. He looked at the paper. You would think he would know that the apocalypse happens with Kennedy alive.
Yeah.
He's not focusing on that because, Diego wants to be the hero and wants to save John F. Kennedy and thinks that will solve all the future's problems. Mm-hmm. So what he's failing to notice is that Kennedy's assassination is supposed to happen. I guess Five's connection to this whole thing is himself.
Yeah.
Because he was supposed to be at Kennedy's assassination doing something. Consider that they've made us focus a little bit the last episode on what Five used to look like. I'm hoping we get more of like what was Five doing because he left before the assassination. It still happened. So what was he supposed to be making sure happens? All right. So what do we think is going to happen at dinner with Dad?
I think dinner at Daddy's. Daddy's going to talk about. First of all, he's going to say, "Who the hell are all of you?" They're going to have to argue that they're his children. He's then going to tell them he's part of the super secret majestic millionaires 12, intent on doing something, and then yada 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 blah blah blah. Something's going to happen, and the dinner's going to go absolutely horrible, but the seeds will all be planted for the future.
No, what's going to happen? It's a light dinner, so it's a short thing. So he's going to say, what do you want from me? Like, what do you know and what do you want from me? He doesn't need the whole backstory because he already knows. Like, if they say they're his, like, he already knows that. Like, he knows that's true if they say they're his children and enough people do it. Like, if he gets 3 people to be like, I'm your child from Earth, like, you know, they all have the same story, corroborating evidence, he's going to be like, fine, that tracks. So he's going to get down to brass tacks because he doesn't want them there right now.
I think it's going to be he's going to have a cocktail and tell them this is what's up. This is what needs to happen.
Lila, 5, the handler,
the Swedish Trap.
The Swedish Trap.
I have, if the handler didn't start them on their first, like they got one official message to go after whoever, Hazel. And then we already know that she's not working for the commission anymore. So now she is just finding them and like
red herring.
Possibly is she? Yeah, is she doing that?
When she tells Lila they're working for the commission, they're just still working for her also. I wonder because clearly this last one was that. So how long has that been going on?
This is the first one we've seen where it just dropped out of the sky.
I still question though because this is the first time we've seen agents from the commission not succeed in their job and get a new one. Usually if they fuck up, they get a message that says, come back, or you fucked up, do it again. Like they don't get just you tried to kill Vanya, you fucked up. All right, we'll try and kill 5. We'll try, like they're just cycling through it without getting any sort of like achievement.
We've only just seen, and we don't know for sure. It looks very suspiciously like the handler is creating these little packets and whatnot. And it's only this one time that we've gotten kind of like, that was odd.
I would imagine the Swedes need to kill at least one of the Umbrella Academy to keep, because they work as a team.
Yet I hope they will explain it in better detail. Oh my gosh, I would really hate to find out if Lila was actually Donna with the handler and she had a child and she pawned the child off somewhere and the child was raised by so-and-so and then eventually she got the child back. That's why Lila can do these weird jumpy things.
My God. Sorry,
this is why we have to be careful about formulating ideas and questions based on our crazy imaginations. Lila's one of the 43. She's got to be. The timing is too perfect. And what is her superpower?
Are they gonna fucking show us?
Well, I think she, maybe because when we saw her running that course with her mother shooting her, it was slow motion.
Yeah.
Maybe she's super fast, and that's why she could pop.
Like flash.
We didn't see her move from one pop. She wasn't teleport. She's like flash fast. So that she was avoiding all those bullets because we saw her like in slow motion, but really she was going super fast through that chorus.
I mean, that must be it.